1, 2, 3. Summing it up, the home of the Supreme Self is the Absolute, the Void. Then, after a long time, the Self, sitting in the cold, dark void, gets bored and wants to do something. Being creative, he wants to play since there is no work to be done out there. He does not need to earn a living. He finds no company and therefore starts playing with himself. He decides to play hide and seek because it's an easy game to play. He quickly manifests a blanket made of ego stuff. In the absolute, everything is possible. Then he separates a part of himself and covers it with this blanket of ego and goes boo. Well, this is a very interesting and delightful game, so he gets another blanket of ignorance of self and wraps it around the previous blanket. This looks like fun, he thinks, and adds a blanket of intellect and of emotion, more ignorance, and a thick physical blanket. Soon the part that is all wrapped up in ignorance and ego stops recognizing the original self. He is so involved in the goings-on inside his cocoon of blankets that he completely ignores and forgets his playful heart. He is now down to the physical level of consciousness, the so-called physical reality, unaware of himself. He is like the king, so the tale goes, who put on rags and went out among the people to find out what real life is all about. Unfortunately, the king became so involved in real life, he forgot about being a king. It seems that it took quite a few traumas to remind him of his real status. And so it goes with us. We are so deeply immersed in this rat race of ours that we have all but forgotten our real status. But the self in the void has not. He is still playing. Now and then he will lift the blanket and say, "Hi there." But most of the time we are too busy to notice him. However, he won't let go, and we will get another stimulus and another until we start responding. The self will be pleased. He will continue to stimulate us. Suddenly, we develop strange feelings of inadequacy. Something is missing from our life. Is this 9-to-5 job really all I want to do with my life? Isn't there something more to it? And so we start searching. We look to the west and we look to the east. We look into religions and cults. Sooner or later, things crystallize and we step on the path of spiritual development. The self likes that and keeps tickling us under the blanket. Sooner or later, one blanket of ignorance drops, then another and another. We start receiving intuitive knowledge about the system. The trip becomes more and more exhilarating. Now the self is really happy as he watches the process unfold. Finally, the last blanket has come off, and we are facing the self at the end of the tube. "Welcome," says the self, "welcome home." And you look at him and say, "And who are you?" "Well," says the self, "I am you. Don't you remember, silly? Just a few eons ago, we were one and the same. We started playing hide and seek, and you got all wrapped up in your blankets and lost sight of me, but I kept watching you all along." Then a glimmer of ancient memory starts coming back to you. You realize that he is you and you are he, so you hug yourself. The quest is ended. Now you know that you are the self, the supreme God of the system. You also know that you contain the infinite void and it contains you. In short, you are it. Self-realization has occurred. Happy ending. Just so that you won't think that I have invented all this only for your amusement, I would like to quote from the writings of a wise old Indian sage, Shankara, who lived about 12 centuries ago. Here is what he says about this. On the vast canvases of self, on the vast canvas of the self, the picture of the manifold worlds is painted by the self itself, and that supreme self, seeing but itself, enjoys great delight. The end and the beginning. That's it.